Good morning, Facebook Live. What's happening, everybody? Marcus here and Jamie.
Hi, everybody. I'm on the other side.
Jamie's on the other side. So it is a few minutes before 8 a.m. If you are joining us live, drop a comment, hashtag live. If not, on the replay, hashtag replay. I want to talk to you about a couple grocery updates this morning and a new study I read yesterday on vitamin D. And how successful vitamin D is in coronavirus and immune system. And it's nothing new, but just a new study that came out yesterday. I forgot what journal I read it in. I read a lot of stuff yesterday about health and nutrition like I normally do, and food and real food. Just typing a message here to somebody, to an employee of ours who's doing some work for us. I wanted to talk about some grocery items that are becoming more scarce, or more at least the prices going up like crazy. And a lot of people keep saying to us, Marcus, your prices are really good. And I want to explain to you why our prices on groceries can be good, all right, or can be better than grocery stores. A couple weeks ago, I had somebody call and say, hey, I want a pound of flax seeds, and I quoted them like whatever it was, and it was $5 cheaper than they could buy online. And they're like, wow, this is a really good deal. And a lot of people keep saying, you have really good deals here on your groceries. And there's a simple reason why. First of all, most of the stuff here that is on these shelves, and especially like those tomatoes right there from Dagley Farms in Goshen, all this stuff is in our kitchen. We cook with it. I really don't bring in things special to sell to you. So, for example, if the grocery store was my only business and I only bought those tomatoes to sell and make a profit, those tomatoes have to be a lot more money. But I'm going to use that whole case of tomatoes. They're not going to go back because they're going to go on pizza tonight. So I'm giving you the opportunity to buy things from us at a reduced markup. So those tomatoes right there, I could not make money on those, just selling tomatoes and other things like that. There's no money. Those are local tomatoes. They're expensive to begin with, very expensive to begin with. They're from a local farm here in Orange County, Dagley Farms. And this a lot of our produce is like that. A lot of those things on that shelf are things that we actually buy that go into our food. So if I don't sell those, they go into the kitchen and they get used, which means I don't have to mark things up quite as much as if that was my only business, because that's not my only business. That's a main part of my business right now, are these groceries and those wines right there, all those wines right there. We got 18 new cases of wine in yesterday. A few of the cases are already sold, went out the door. So all the stuff you see behind us here on the grocery list is stuff that we actually use here. So if I don't sell that wine there and that vodka there, and when we reopen, it goes right into my bar and we serve it. So there's no money lost. So I don't, it's not, what I'm trying to say is I don't need to make a ton of money on that stuff. When I buy things right, like we buy our salmon, our halibut, our black cod, our tuna in very large quantities, literally probably 100 to 200 pounds at a time. So I get a really deep price reduction on that, which is why I can save you $85 a case on salmon versus you going to the website and buying it yourself. That's the same website, same salmon, $85 cheaper. And we make okay money on that. We make decent money on that, but I have to buy 100 to 200 pounds to do that. But if you don't buy the salmon from me, it goes right into my kitchen and we use it. I'll use it in the next 2 months. It's all frozen. It's not going to go to waste. So the one thing that we had to raise our prices on this morning was chicken. Chicken is getting harder and harder to buy. First of all, in the last 4 or 5 weeks, I've only been able to buy chicken every other day. It's out of stock. Then the one we want, I can literally buy cheap chicken. Cheap chicken's no problem. The commodity chicken's no problem. But the chicken that we buy, the hormone-free, antibiotic-free, the never ever program, vegetarian fed, free roaming, those chickens are becoming, they're only available certain days a week. Yesterday alone, Jamie, what did we sell in chicken yesterday? Probably 60, 70 pounds of chicken yesterday, at least. We sell a ton of chicken every single day. And today I have, like yesterday I could only buy chicken thighs. That's all I could buy. I bought 80 pounds of chicken thighs. Yeah, 80 pounds. Today I could only buy chicken breast. That was it. There's no thighs available today. And I have to wait another 2 days to get more chicken thighs, but I'm almost out of chicken thighs. The bad news is the 2 to 3 farms that we use, suppliers that we use, like we sell our chicken breast for $4.59 right now, a pound. That was yesterday's price. Price went up today. One of the producers is selling it for over $5 a pound now. That's how much the price went up on it. And it's getting scarce. We had to raise our price on the chicken, unfortunately, because the price is just, we took over an 85-cent increase on chicken breasts and chicken thighs alone this last week, and I didn't reflect it on the price yet, so that price is going up. So if you got in yesterday, you got in. Today, the new site on price on the website is at least 85 cents higher per pound.
Sure, you're looking at the new
Price list. In our emails every day, we send out a new price list every day, and because we're so overwhelmed, we're not perfect. So sometimes things get on there that we don't have in stock anymore. We haven't had time to update. Sometimes I'll have a chance to write out of stock on there, or back in available. Things are getting shorted to us like crazy. Yesterday, our organic order was probably what, 30% there, Jamie?
Yeah.
If that, 30 actually half
This time.
half was missing.
Better this week.
They did better this week. Half was missing. One of the products that's been missing for 3 weeks actually got delivered, but it got damaged. So it's one of those things that it's tough to win with the big company United Natural Foods. So things that you can stock up on, like beans and things like that, things that go into the freezer, we have that here. You can stock up on it. It's here. We have more Farm Hub food coming today. We have more Farm Hub food coming tomorrow. We have a lot of Farm Hub food coming today.
Be patient with us, please.
Yeah, be patient with us.
A lot of emails and a lot of calls.
I have a stack here of emails of orders that we have to fulfill today. The phones just ring nonstop here from 2 o'clock on. People call, people email and say, why aren't you answering your phone, or your phones are down? It's not that we're not answering, not that our phone's down. We're on the phone. We're talking to somebody. When we leave the restaurant here, folks, we forward the phones to our cell phones so we don't miss phone calls. But the phones just keep ringing and keep coming in and coming in. And it's hard for us to do an online ordering system because a lot of things are done by the weight. We have a metered scale, a certified metered scale here. So when you order chicken breast, you might be getting 1.67 pounds. The next person might be getting 1.93 pounds. So it's hard to put all these things on a website and be able to do that. Our menu is changing by the end of the week, folks. We're going to go to more of a plate sharing, tapas style menu. Some things won't change, like our pizzas, unchanged. Some appetizers totally unchanged. But we're going to give you more options to mix and match foods. Prices are coming down. There'll be no dish over $19.99, except for our cowboy and ribeye, which were $65, are coming down to $39 now. So prices are dropping. We're gonna have a lot more flexibility on our menu, a lot more seasonal things we're being able to use. And we use a lot. We buy from 2 Farm Hubs a week right now. And this is not nonstop. This is before coronavirus. We buy from 2 Farm Hubs a week, and we buy a lot from our one main distributor, Baldor. They have tons and tons of local stuff. So we buy a lot from them local. So we support about 40-something farms on a year-round basis. You can go onto our website and go onto the bottom and hit Farm Connect, and you'll see a profile of the majority of the farms that we use year-round. Lots and lots in the Hudson Valley, some upstate, New Jersey, Connecticut. Our cranberries come from one farm every year why am I drawing a blank? In Massachusetts, so that's where all of our cranberries come from, one small cranberry farm there. So all those farms are actually listed on there. And right now, we're probably even supporting more than that because right now is where it's at with the Farm Hubs, the local farms. A lot of local farms are probably at capacity right now. I know, like our ground beef, we had to start sourcing Joyce Farms. Joyce Farms is an amazing grass-fed producer in the Carolinas, like top notch. If you want to buy ground beef from us, that's the ground beef you're buying. I cannot sell you the ground beef that we use for our burgers and our meatloaf because there's not enough. The farmer was in here a few weeks ago. He stopped in and he goes, Marcus, I'm out. I'm totally out. I have cattle booked for a processing date in June. And he goes, I can't even make another date. They're so far booked out. He goes, I'm out of beef. I have your 2,000 pounds set aside for however long you need it. That's set aside, that's frozen. But he goes, but everybody else, I'm gone, totally wiped out on beef. And I don't even know, I'll get one processing load in. I don't know when I'm gonna get the next in. So unfortunately, we can't get that. A lot of other local farms are in that kind of a situation. So this is a good thing for local farms right now. It's giving people an opportunity to eat local food. Local food is typically produced better, more nutritious, fresher, There's more of a connection to the land. You can have more of a connection to your food, no matter what it is. So this week, today we have a lot of farms coming in. Tomorrow we have a lot more. We have more these Dagley tomatoes, by the way, from Goshen area, from Orange County. Those tomatoes are amazing, amazing tomatoes. We have Hepworth onions that are here. We have Dagley Farms red onions here. Tons and tons of stuff. Chase Home Farms, more Chase Home Farms stuff is coming in. More charcuterie is coming in today. Local apple cider's coming in today. A lot of really cool things are coming in today, folks. And we're restocking. So today's another big order day. Tonight is pizza night, by the way. Buy one, get one pizza. It's our only night that we do not do a $9.99 because you buy one pizza, get one free. You need to call your orders in earlier. We can only limit the ovens. Our 2 ovens can only occupy so many pizzas every half an hour, every 15 minutes. So we space out. So you cannot walk in at 5:30 and say, I want to order pizzas, and I'll wait around. If you walked in or called at 5:30, we're going to tell you probably 7:30. And people don't understand this every week. They're like, well, I'm calling. Why can't I get an order now? Because people started calling at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and ordering pizzas like crazy. That's why you have to wait 2 hours right now. So that's what happens on Wednesday nights on Buy One, Get One. So make sure you get your orders in early. Call as early as noon, 1 o'clock. So call early, get your order in. Don't call we answer the phones. One of the things that people don't understand is we answer the phones nonstop long before we open the doors here. Some people think that because we open at 5 every day that we only answer the phone from 5 o'clock on. That's not true. So we'll answer. Well, if you call right now, we'll answer the phone. If you called a half an hour ago, we would have answered the phone. If you call tonight at 9:30, an hour and a half after we're closed, we'll answer the phone. So we always answer phones. Phones go to our cell phones. We get the forwarded to our cell phones when we leave the building or when we leave the area where we can answer phones. So we don't miss phone calls, but it's hard to answer all the phone calls lately with the volume. So call early. Please call early. If you have a grocery order.
Is this for today or any day?
Any day.
Okay.
Any day. If you have a grocery order, the best thing to do is email your grocery order. Your grocery orders including wine, beer, spirits, all our produce, all our meats, all that kind of stuff, things that we're not cooking out of the kitchen. If you have a grocery order, the best thing to do is email it to us. Email it to us, wait for a response. Jamie will then set up a time with you to pick up. It'll probably be after 5 o'clock. There are exceptions that she makes if we're here and things are going right. You can come in at 3, 3:30, 4 o'clock, but that's by appointment only. And when she sets you up a time to come in the afternoon, like after we open at 5 o'clock, it's because we space people out. We don't open the doors at 5 o'clock and let a bunch of people rush in. It's okay. Your order's ready at 5. Your order's ready at 5:30. Your order's ready at 6. So we try to space people out. Yesterday there was I think 3 couples in here and a little boy, and it was like a lot at one time. Even though people were keeping their distance, so I told the one couple with their kid, I said, you can go outside and sit in the garden and wait for your food. And that's what they did. They went outside to ease up some room in the restaurant. So we have our outside set.
If you don't hear from me, please call.
If you don't hear from Jamie within a couple of hours?
By 2 o'clock, I'm away from my desk. So if you're sending an email before 2 o'clock, please make sure you call me.
Okay, so if you send an email before 2?
After 2.
After 2. Because at 2 o'clock, we're in the dining room here, picking orders, getting orders ready. So if you email after 2 o'clock, it's a good idea to give her a call and say, hey, I just emailed an order at 2 o'clock, 2:30, whatever. Want to make sure you got it, and then she'll go on her phone and check. Once she leaves her desk during the day, it's all hands on deck packing orders. We literally pack 10 to 15 orders, big boxes a day for grocery orders. So just be patient with us. So we ask that you're patient with us. Oh, I hear the cat. The cat is here. Jamie just opened the door. So good news on the cat. I'm going to try to go back and I want. All right, I'm back. So we have a cat in the garden. I've been working with this cat for several months. The cat is now a friendly cat. It was a furrow cat. Showed up last year, had a kitten. We don't know what happened to the kitten. Fed the cat all winter. The cat is here. The cat is extremely friendly now. Now I'm gonna look at this. Here's the cat. The cat is very friendly. All right, that's her. We named her Riesling.
Follow me.
She's going to follow Jamie. She's going to follow us. So she's waiting for her food here. Now, this cat here needs a home. Jamie's going to get her food. This cat here needs a home. This cat is very friendly. We recently introduced the cat to dogs. We brought our border collies back here and our daughter's dog back here. Our daughter's dog is let me think of the name, but he's a big dog and he's playful and he's clumsy. So he just like throws his body around, throws his weight around, and just wants to play. And so this cat has been scared of the dog for quite some time, for the last couple months. The cat is not runs away and will not come back. So like, okay, I guess the cat and the dogs don't get along. But this last week on Sunday, after we were closed, we came back out here to hang out and celebrate Mother's Day, our family, and the dogs were here. And the cat came out, and we got introduced the dog to the cat, and the cat is totally fine with dogs now. So this cat walked up to all three dogs. They smelled each other, and they all sat here, and they were all fine. So this cat is now used to dogs. So this cat needs a home. It's a female. We've been feeding her. She showed up last August. If you know anybody that needs a cat, we'll get all medical records updated. My daughter works up in Rock Hill at the vet office there, Catskill Animal Hospital, so she'll get everything updated for the cat and make sure that the cat is healthy. This cat is now very, very friendly, very lovable. This cat was, until a month ago, this cat would not go near anybody, would run away from people. My daughter and I have been working with the cat for a while, so this cat really needs a good home. This cat's getting attached to people that walk into the back garden too. They've been very, very friendly. So that's the story. With that, if you're waiting for food, you're welcome to wait back here. The garden is set up, the tent is set up. So if you come in and your food's not ready when you're picking up, we can deliver it to you out here, and you can be on your way with your food. It'll be in to-go containers. And a lot of people are, I want to go into the parking lot real quick too, because a lot of people are hanging out in the parking lot right now when they eat. It's a municipal parking lot. So you're welcome to hang out here. What's happening? How's it going? Good. First big delivery of the day in. Really big delivery. So this is the parking lot right here. So you're welcome to, this is a municipal parking lot. People stay here and they eat here in their car. From those windows up there, I play music after 5 o'clock. I play what do I play? Spotify. Road trip songs, classic road trip songs. So you get some really cool music. People will sit in their car and eat. There are some tables that are set up right there and right there, and people do take advantage of those tables. We were told by the village officials that if people walk out your door and they go sit on a park bench somewhere, they go sit on a table somewhere, that nobody's going to say anything to them, was what we were told. So, but people are hanging out here. They're tailgating a little bit. They're enjoying Mother's Day. A lot of people ate out here. They got their food and they sat out here and they ate out here. That's the story with that. And we'll deliver curbside to you too. That's considered curbside. So we will deliver that to you. If you are watching live right now, just drop a comment, #live. If it's on the replay, #replay. And again, I was just talking about some of our items, our grocery items. Chicken's coming in right now. I see 80 pounds of chicken there for us. Chicken took a big price increase that I was talking about, 85 cents a pound. It got raised for us. And the supply is getting harder and harder to get. So we're trying to keep our prices down as much as we can to create a good value and provide healthy food for you. So that's the story with that. I have to go because I got to check that order in, and I have a few appointments this morning and phone calls. Check out Jamie's Facebook Live at 4 o'clock, Facebook Live with Jamie. Folks, it is sunny out today. Oh, yeah. I want to talk about vitamin D. So I read a study yesterday, and I read so much yesterday, that vitamin D could save a lot of lives, by increasing vitamin D intake, especially with elderly. And unfortunately, it's not part of the dialogue in most hospitals and most nursing care facilities. It's not part of the dialogue to take larger amounts of vitamin D, maybe smaller amounts. The RDA amounts, and typically that the government has set forth, are very small. Like the RDA for vitamin C is nothing. My first round of water here today has probably 20 times the amount of our recommended vitamin C, RDA from vitamin C, maybe 10 times the amount of the RDA. It's just, the RDAs are, my thought, they're intentionally kept low. Vitamin C, there's been decades and decades of massive studies on vitamin C and how beneficial it is. But vitamin D, this latest study by Dr. Lee Scott. Dr. Lee Scott was just released this last week, and he did a study basically on nursing homes and elderly with vitamin D. And his study came, and I forgot what journal it was published in. But he basically says that, hey, vitamin D could have saved a lot of lives. Doses of vitamin D, literally like 20 international 1,000 units, 30 international 1,000 units, 40 international 1,000 units was what he was talking, high doses. I was listening to two doctors, medical doctors, when this first happened, and they were saying the first sight of any kind of flu, any achiness, 150,000 international units of vitamin D for 3 days is what these two doctors are saying, Dr. Hyman and Dr. Gundry. I heard them on a podcast, and they were separately and together. They were. Dr. Hyman was releasing his new book. He has like 9 New York Times best-selling books on health and nutrition, maybe even more than that. So they were both agreed 150,000 international units of vitamin D. And then yesterday, the study by Dr. Lee Kim, I forgot. I read so much. Dr. Lee Scott, saying that's the missing component with the elderly and the deaths, and that could prevent a lot of deaths. So vitamin D, it's inexpensive. So I thought I would share that. It's pure sun today here in Ellenville, here in the Hudson Valley. There's not a cloud in the sky. There's not supposed to be one. By going in the sun for 30 minutes, you will be refreshed. You will get a lot of vitamin D for 30 minutes in the sun. Get some skin exposed, get out, enjoy the sun, enjoy the weather. It's going to be warmer later on in the week, but it's going to be cloudier. Today is, I think, the only day of pure sun out there. So get out and if you're able to go hiking and do things like that. Here at Sam's Point, I know at Sam's Point they've closed all the single path trails, which means all the carriage trails are open. Those are the wider trails you can drive a car on, basically. But the single path, where it's a footpath, all those are actually roped off. I guess they feel that there's not enough distance for you to pass somebody and be safe without spreading social distancing. And some of the footpaths are closed at Sam's Point, or all the footpaths are closed at Sam's Point. My favorite footpath trail of all time here in this local area is Cox Road. It's a 3-mile loop. You go to Cox Road, you go to the DEC parking lot there, and nobody's ever there until recently, until this whole thing happened and people are trying to get out now. Cox Road is an amazing 3-mile hike. You are on top of the ridge. It is like mind-blowing, breathtaking. Every time I've been there hundreds of times. In the winter when it's 5 degrees, in the summertime when it's 95 degrees, when it's pouring rain, when it's pure sun. I've been there in all kinds. It is one of my most favorite hikes. I take the dogs. I'll run it sometimes. But when you're on top of that ridge there, those rock formations, and looking out, this is where the fire zone was 5, 6, 7 years ago. And some of the trees are still charred. There's lots of new life in there. If you know what you're looking for, you can see the forest damage from the fire. But when you're up on those rock formations going that whole mile long of the rock formations, it is just amazing. And the crevices and the cracks and the cliffs, I'm always just in awe. When I go up there, it's just like, wow, this is for me. This is my backyard. This is my backyard. It's such an amazing place. A lot of people do not take advantage of a lot of the trails, hiking trails that we have in our area. Another great trail that I like is right here in Ellenville, Buttermilk Falls, that waterfall as you're going out of town. There's a trail that goes up that stream, and it'll take you. I've actually gone I've actually snowshoed from the top of the mountain of Monaga, so where the old ski area was, Cathalia. I've actually snowshoed down to that and down by the waterfall back into Ellenville. That's really cool. I've done that loop. Part of that loop is private property, so be careful. Just make sure you watch where you go. There are signs that say when you're on Sam's Point Reserve. Another amazing trail, folks, is going out of Ellenville, outside the village limits, going up 52, where the bridge is over the Nevele and Fallsview, Honors Haven, where that bridge is. If you go past the bridge and there's a little turnoff, you park right there. That's the long path in Strong Bridge Trail. That trail right there, you can actually go both ways. You can go straight up the mountain to Sam's Point, and it'll take you right into Sam's Point. 2.7 miles up, it takes you right onto the loop road. It's amazing. It is a lot of uphill, but it is beautiful and magnificent, and I've never passed anybody on that trail until recently. until the whole Corona thing hit and people are out hiking more. I would never pass anybody on that trail. It was amazing. I take that back. 6 winters ago, we were up doing repeats. A couple of friends of mine going up and down, and there was a Spanish couple that was camping, that were hiking the whole SRT in the wintertime, and it was like 10 degrees out that day, and they were hiking up, and they had their tents, and they were doing the hike through, and it was really cool. But that's the only time I've ever really passed anybody on that trail. Amazing trail, beautiful scenery. Make sure if you're new to the trails that you're following the blazes. There's always blazes on trails. So, for example, let's see if I can see how I can do this. So, blazes are the rectangles, and they're colored. So if you're following a green trail, which is the SRT or the long path, if you're following the blazes, you follow these blazes how they go. If there's a turn, they'll place one here and one here, which means the next you have to turn to the right, or if it's like this, you have to turn to the left, or vice versa, right? So follow these blazes. You'll see single blazes painted on rocks and stuck onto trees. As soon as you see two and you see one above one, that means you're turning to the above one. And that's how you do that. So make sure you follow the blazes. Make sure you stay on the same color. If this is your first time out, you're not familiar with the trail, blazes are super important. And as soon as you don't see the blazes anymore, you backtrack to find the blaze again. One way that I can find if I'm off a trail is you notice that the footing of the trail is, it gets soft. Because where people walk, it's packed down. And as soon as you get off that packed down, because some trails, all of a sudden, it just disappears. You're like, oh my gosh, where did the trail go? Some trails are not, trails are maintained typically by volunteers that donate their time, that volunteer to go out and do it. So if you're out there in the middle of the summertime and the blueberries and everything's growing everywhere, sometimes the trails get grown over. They don't get maintained quick enough, so you can sometimes get lost easier. So if you're stepping and you're feeling the ground is a different texture, different softness, different hardness than previously, chances are you're off the trail because not many people have walked there to pack it down, and that's one easy way to find out. But follow the trails. If you want to get a good GPS, I like Gaia GPS. It's $20. It's a one-time purchase, and it lists all the old Jeep roads. It lists all the old trails, because a lot of the old trails are not listed on the newer GPSs. Sometimes the state park or wherever doesn't want you accessing certain trails. So older maps are more accurate. So if you go into Gaia GPS, they show all the old Jeep trails, all the old trails, and it's really awesome. You can see all the old stuff. Then you can kind of know where you are. 'Cause sometimes you'll see a trail and be like, oh, that trail's not on my map. I can see sort of like an old trail there. That old Jeep road's not on my map, because they really don't. It's not an officially open trail is the issue with those. So they delete them off the maps a lot of times, off the newer GPSs. All right, folks, that's it. That order's walking the door here. I hope everybody has an amazing day. Stay tuned for Jamie's Facebook Live later. Check out our grocery list. It's updated. Pizza night tonight, buy one, get one, 647-3000. Call anytime after, I don't know today. If Jamie's watching, she'll drop a comment, because we are actually going on a hike today. We're actually probably doing the Cox Road today, probably getting out there. A lot of people are on this morning. We appreciate it. Man is saying there was a lot of people there 2 weeks ago. Folks, the state parks are packed right now. From what I understand, Mohawk Preserve, which is not a state park, it's a private, it's closed. The state parks are open, but they're limiting the single path use, the footpath use, and they're only letting you go on the wide carriage roads for social distancing. So, and the places are packed. I know Sam's Point, if you're not there, if you're not in line waiting at Sam's Point, they open at 9 a.m. If you're not in line waiting by 8:30 or 8:45 on the weekends, you're not getting into Sam's Point. They'll start turning you away by 9:10. So go early, wait in line. But there's a lot of other access points to get into Sam's Point that you don't need to go into the parking lot. So, all right, folks, I got to get out of here. The order's here. He's waiting for me. I'll talk to everybody later.